Congressman Bob Good here with your weekly Good News from Washington. And the good news is that we elected a conservative man of integrity to become our Speaker of the House yesterday, and that is Congressman Mike Johnson from Louisiana. I've known Mike for 3 years since I got to Congress. I've admired him as a person, again, of integrity. He's a strong Christian, and that permeates every area of his life. What you saw in his speech on the House floor has been exemplified in the way that he's conducted himself since he got to Congress. He's honestly one of those individuals that even a year ago, those of us who were resisting the former Speaker's election in January, Mike Johnson was one of those that we thought could be the kind of person that could be elected Speaker, that could bring our conference together, get a majority of support, would be a partner in the conservative agenda that the American people gave us the majority to enact a year ago, and yet he would be someone who possessed the qualities that you most look for in a leader: trustworthiness, honesty, integrity, well respected by the entire Republican conference. That's why he was able to get a unanimous vote from Republicans on the House floor yesterday. So I'm excited, optimistic. Our conference is more united than it's been. Members who've been here a lot longer tell me they haven't seen that in 15, 20 years, us so united. You go through a difficult time together over these last 3 weeks, a difficult time of uncertainty and some risk involved with that, trying to come through on the other side with a better resolution for the country. And I think Mike Johnson is that kind of speaker who was elected to represent the people. The members of Congress chose him. He wasn't chosen for us just because he was the anointed, next person in line. He actually emerged from about a dozen different candidates who ran over the past 3 weeks, and everything we went through was worth it. I'll point out to you that the 3 weeks while we were working through the process of electing a speaker, the Senate, which was technically fully open, didn't do anything. They literally didn't pass any spending bills. They're still sitting at 0 of 12 required spending bills passed through the Senate, while we've passed 4 in the House. We will now double down our efforts to try to pass our remaining 8 spending bills over the next 3 weeks when the funding for the government does expire on November 17. And then we'll see where we are at the end of that 3-week period from a further extension, potentially, of funding the government. But hopefully we'll get our 8 remaining bills funded and passed with some appropriate spending reductions, implementing conservative policies. I'll make one other further note, just final note, that the first thing we did as a Republican House after Speaker Johnson was sworn in yesterday was to express formally our unequivocal support for the nation of Israel, and we look forward to seeing how we can tangibly pass the support that we need to for Israel without tying that to a larger spending bill that contains about $90 billion. The president's trying to combine that with support for Israel in order to try to get other spending priorities that he has passed in accordance with our support for Israel. So thank you for the privilege of representing you in Washington, and look forward to talking again soon.